Hey beautiful people, welcome back if you're a subscriber here, but if you're new, hey boo, go ahead and subscribe. I think you'll like it here and I think that we'll vibe. Today, this is a video that was on my heart once again, and the last one that I did about self-confidence, external validation, and dating yourself and your friends, that video went well. We had great discussion in the comments, and if you haven't watched that yet, go check it out. Talk to me in the comments because I always talk back. But since that went well, I decided let me talk again. And in the midst of my daily routine, the question popped up in my head: are you really shy or are you just plus sized? Basically, the root of all of this, I believe that there are a lot of plus size women that are living with personalities that are not theirs. These are false personalities, in my opinion. I think there are a lot of plus size women that are itching and scratching and dying to burst out of that shell, but I think we just tend to be stopped from doing that in some ways. Overwhelmingly in media, we know that there are two main personalities when it comes to plus size women in entertainment, and I mean on shows and movies, those type of things that we watch. The first one is the loud, funny, hypersexual usually, and sometimes annoying friend. And some examples, when I had to think about it to get organized for this video, some of the examples that came right up to mind would be Jasmine from On My Block, Kelly from Insecure, and Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect. If you've seen any of those things and you know who those characters are, I don't even have to explain too much. But they were always the plus size girl that was loud, that was extroverted. In all three of those cases, that were also hypersexual and that some looked at as annoying or like they did too much. The second trope, I want to say, like, that's the word for it. The second trope that tends to happen in media is the shy, frumpy, undesirable, and usually forgotten friend. And there were two examples that popped up in my head. One was Kat from Euphoria before her awakening. If you've seen Euphoria, I don't even have to explain too much, you know. But beforehand, you know, she wasn't that impressive. She was more on the nerdy side. She was shy. And she wasn't looked at in that manner for the most part before her awakening. And the second example would be Stacy from Fat Girls. If you all remember that movie that Monique was in, her best friend Stacy was the epitome of that also before her awakening. She didn't dress too impressive. Once again, glasses. Not to say that glasses make you nerdy, because I wear glasses. My whole family basically wears glasses. Well, whatever, you know, glasses, nerdy. Didn't put too much into her appearance. She wore a straight back ponytail every day. Men did not look her way before her awakening. Which, side note, I'm very happy that both of those characters had some character development in there. I'm happy that they didn't stay that way the entire time during the show and during the movie. But those were the examples that popped up. Thinking about this made me reflect on myself. And I never desired being the first trope that I talked about, which is the loud, funny, hypersexual, annoying person. I never ventured into that category, mainly because I was too scared to be too much or to draw too much attention, because a lot of times attention like that, if it's not received well, it can easily transform into negative attention. And when you're overweight, what's the first thing that somebody reaches to call you? Fat. Exactly. And I've heard some girls say now, like, okay, like the fat thing is getting old. You can't say I'm ugly. You can't say I'm stupid. So that's an easy kill. But that's why I never gravitated towards that type, because it makes it too easy for someone to come back and rag on you, throw you under the bus. However, they're gonna do that anyways. But when I was thinking about that type of plus size woman that is in media, it made me think about how wild behaviors, and I say wild because, you know, what's wild to one person is not wild to the next person, but Some wild behaviors can be done by conventionally attractive women or smaller women, and it's not looked at as anything groundbreaking. But when a plus size woman would do those same activities, people say it's disgusting, it's annoying, it's too much. And when I thought about that, of course, the first person that I thought of was my queen, Lizzo. When Lizzo does things or shows body parts or dances in a certain type of way, there's always a conversation around it. There's always controversy about it. But when a woman that is more, that has a smaller body, that is deemed more conventionally attractive and that fits within that attractive woman that, you know, that's just in right now. I'm trying to be politically correct, but some of this stuff is not politically correct. When a woman is attracted to you, you don't second guess the things that she might do. But when she's not, it's a problem, point blank, period. So because of this, I felt like being shy was the safe option. Now, at the tender age of 24, I'm happy that I'm rethinking and revamping my mindset, because I'm realizing people are gonna find something to say no matter what. And no matter how much you water yourself down and try to be palatable across the board, if someone wants to find an issue with what you do, they're gonna do that. So you need to live for you. Back to the topic or the title of this video, I think that is true for many plus size women. I don't think that there are this many plus size women who are goofy, but also who are shy. I think they're just masking, because it is tough being plus size in this world sometimes, a lot of times. Let's even think about in dating. It's easy to be neutral across the board, even if that's not your personality, because it will make you more likely to be chosen. And in fact, one of my ex-coworkers described me. I asked him, do you think that I'm extroverted or introverted? Because we had to do like an assessment that kind of talked about that at work. And he told me, I think you're selectively social. If you're comfortable with someone, then you let your true personality out. Of course, that's true for most people, but I think some of us would want to be even more out in public before you get to know someone, but we might be too scared because of our body size, because we know we're already being judged off of something before we ever get to speak to someone. And it's easier to play it safe until someone chooses you. And that honestly made me feel for our men that are plus size. I don't know if men refer to themselves as plus size, but that's what I'm gonna say today. It made me feel for plus size men, because we know that in dating and in a lot of things in life, men are aggressors. Men are usually the initiators, and to have to initiate while also fighting internal and external struggles surrounding appearance, that's tough. Because as a woman, okay, this is me going off the script, not looking at the notes that I wrote. But as a woman, when it came to dating, there are just some philosophies that I have that I still have. Like, for instance, I think that a man should like a woman a little bit more than she likes him. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but if you want me to talk about that, let me know. Along with that, I believed that I should wait for a man to choose me, because I don't want to be the aggressor and get my feelings hurt if he's not into plus size women or into a woman that might be larger. But men don't get that luxury if you're a larger man, because they're the ones that are expected to initiate those type of interactions. So if you're a plus size man and you're watching this, I feel for you. Please live in your truth, king, okay? I'm tired of us not living our full lives or waiting until we get to a certain size, a certain look, a certain whatever to start living. Newsflash, let me be the bearer of bad news. That may never happen. Lord forbid, we might pass away before we ever get to be a size insert here. Do not wait for that to start living your life. You deserve to have a full, happy, and loving life now. You deserve to exert the energy that you want to exert now, not when you get smaller, now. We deserve to have our true personality and not the personality that's suitable for our aesthetic. We deserve that now. While I know some people are like, don't glorify that because blah, 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 blah. Don't glorify obesity or being plus size. I'm not glorifying it, but it would be unrealistic to say that someone is supposed to cry in a corner until they get to where they want to be. And let me pull out my education real quick. My degree is in health promotion and behavioral science, and we literally learned that it is easier to change someone's health behavior by pointing out positives versus negatives. If you constantly tell someone you're gonna die, you're gonna be on medication, you're gonna have diabetes, you're gonna lose a limb, eventually these things, they don't really faze us like that, or they start to desensitize us. We get so used to hearing negative things that it flies right over, versus we learn that to encourage positive health behaviors, you're supposed to keep it positive to encourage the person to want to do it. Things like you will feel better about yourself, you'll have more energy, you will be more flexible, your pains will decrease. Things like that are supposed to be said, not vice versa. So if you've ever told anyone something from a negative standpoint, I want you to rethink that. It is a lot easier to change and nurture a body that you love versus a body that you hate. So if you've ever gone through, I want to call it trauma because I think it is trauma, but if you've ever gone through anything where your body size has been a talking point or been a constant reminder, or at least felt like a constant reminder of negative self-worth and low self-esteem, I want that to change for you. You have the body that you have right now. So right now is the only thing that you can control. I want you to start to love your body more and love yourself more. I know that society and the world that we live in, the environments we live in, do not make it easy to love ourselves as we are. It always glamorizes another place, another size, another city, another whatever. But you will get a lot further when you love the body that you have so much that you want to change it versus hating it so much that you want to change it, because do everything out of love. Hate will only take you so far, and usually you'll fall off and forget. Okay? I don't want to drag this on, but as a little exercise, I want you to go ahead and get a piece of paper. I'll give you a second. All right, now that you have your piece of paper, as it pertains to personality and habits that you want to have, or even things that you want to do, write down what are 2 things that you would love to do but you've been nervous to do it. And this could be because of your size or because of how people may perceive it. Hope you wrote those down. The next 2 things that I want you to write, what are 2 qualities or habits that you have been around that you love that other people do and you would love to emulate it yourself? An example of this would be, I love how when I go out with her, she's not afraid to talk to new people or strike up conversation. Or she wears beautiful clothes and heels without worrying about drawing too much attention. Those could be 2 things that, let's say your friend or your sister or somebody that you admire does that you also want to do but you are too nervous to do. The third thing I want you to do, write down what your life would be like if you did those 2 things that you wanted to do, and if you took those 2 habits or personality traits. If you combine those and did all of that, what would your life be like? Walk yourself through it. What would you gain? How would you feel? How would your appearance change? How would your spirit change? How would the people around you and your environment change? It might change your financial bracket. Get detailed, take your time and write that. And if you need to pause it, if you need to pause the video to do that, go ahead, because I know that might take you a second. But for the sake of time, we're gonna move on. Lastly, seeing your entire vision and the life that you could live, I want you to think on the opposite, because we have to balance it out, yin and yang, darkness and light. You've seen the light. Now, what does life look like if you continue doing it how you've been doing it? Are you willing to lose the dream that you wrote up? Is it worth the sacrifice for you to stay scary? Like I said, if you need to pause and finish writing all that out, go ahead. But finish my video first, okay? And if you're still here, thank you so much. Love you, mean it. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. And now would be a good time to write me a comment and let me know that you made it this far and how you're liking this video, because it was really on my heart and I needed to talk about it. Exercises like that have made me envision what my life could be. Sometimes we can be so wrapped up in our routine that we don't even think about what we're missing by not fully stepping into who we could be. And I'm very, very, very happy. I'm sad that it took me this long, but I'm happy, better late than never. I'm becoming the woman that I want to be, regardless of how I look and regardless of how it might be perceived to others, because I spent my entire life trying to be palatable for everybody around me, trying to be not too much, trying not to be seen too much, and trying to avoid trouble and confrontation. And I'm honestly just sick of it. For so long, everything that was done directly or indirectly towards me, I internalized there's something wrong with me because of things that I was told, or patterns and just mindsets in the world and everything. I am tired of that. Yes, I'm a plus size woman. However, don't we love duality? Just because I am, it doesn't mean that I am this. I'm a plus size woman. I'm a diva. I work out. I'm a gym rat. I'm a dancer. I don't have to be who you want me to be in order for me to be happy. And there's so much freedom in realizing that. So I want all of us to be able to live the best life that we can, now, always, and forever. Always and forever. Y'all don't know about that because you're too young. Anywho, I just want to leave you with a question for us to talk about in the comments that I wrote down. As a plus size person, do you agree that you have to be nicer? You have to be more put together. You have to be more professional, and you have to have less open opinions in order to thrive in this world. Some might say the answer is clear, but let's chat about it. Tell me some stories. I'll tell y'all some stories back. And if there's anything else that you want me to chat about, or videos that you want me to do, I'm always open for it. Like I say in most videos, talk to me in the comments because I always talk back. I want to leave you all with so much love and light, and to let you know you're not shy. You might just be plus size, but abandon that completely. Be the person that you want to be. Act how you want to act, and have the personality that is true to you, not the one that correlates with your current body and aesthetic. We gotta throw the peace signs up at the end of every video. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next. Oh God, please don't ruin this for me. Please don't ruin this for me, please. I beg of thee. All right, this looks insane, but let's keep going because we don't have time to start over. You know, I'm starting to think maybe doing things and talking in a video is not my forte. Everybody has their ministry, and this one might not be mine, because now that I'm sitting here and everything is going haywire, this whole video might get 86'd, and I might re-record it once my makeup is done. Yeah, the video's 86'd.
It's time to post up. Fix your credit, girl, get at it, get your bag up. Hit that gym and get back time. Go